afternoon, everyone. I'm your host, Longnam Karpuri. Welcome to the 13 RR Thomas debate competition. I would like to call our president, Mr. Shiv Pradhan, to come to the stage and deliver your welcome address. Kindly, sir.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. To this 13th edition of RR Thomas Inter-College Debate that is organized by the Meghalaya College Teachers Association, that is the MCTA. First of all, I'd like to express our heartiest welcome and gratitude to our esteemed judges who will be judging this competition today for accepting our invitation. First is Mr. Ibaton Karkonga, who is basically background is counseling. He's also been taking some college classes with SSC also. His background is also from commerce, but he has been excelling in his field of, when he was a college going student, he expressed to me that he was an avid debater, and that helped him in his course of studies and, made him better every day. Welcome, sir, to this debate for accepting our invitation. Our second judge is Dr. Kimberly CM. She is a clinical psychologist from Nigrams. Ma'am, thank you. I hope your expertise in your field will really help us to, to judge our student in a better way, because the topic is in that line with regard to good that can be done from social media. So the goodness here basically talk about, mental health too. So hopefully, our student will be able to hear from you later on also. So thank you again, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and, agreeing to judge this event. Last of our judges is Mr. Malcolm D. Roy. He was basically a man of finance who was in NEPCO, retired as Director of Finance, I think, from NEPCO, and presently he's the Pro VC of MLCU. So, he's a past Edmondian, and if you look at the alumni list of Edmondian, all of them were good debaters and have done excellent in their field, not undermining the college synod. But nevertheless, thank you, sir, for accepting the invitation and agreeing to judge this event. And also, I'd like to welcome the participant of this 13th edition of RR Thomas Inter-College Debate Competition. As for the list that we had, there are 7 colleges. We would like to have more, but 7 is not a bad number. And welcome to Synod College. On behalf of MCTA, Meghalaya College Teachers Association, who is organizing this event, I would like to welcome you, and we hope that you will have a very fruitful experience from this competition, and you will all gain from it and go back richer, especially in the cerebral sense, okay? Not in terms of money. Of course, we do have a prize money, it's not that important. Okay? Your coming and participating itself is a great achievement. So, welcome again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Shiv, for that very intriguing history on RR Thomas, the man with a vision and a mission, an educator, a man of many, many hobbies as well. We have with us 7 colleges participating from across our state. They will be deliberating on the motion, as you can see in the presentation there. The rise of social media influences is good for society. So that is the motion. The rise of social media influencers is good for society. The MCTA has chosen this as the motion of the debate, keeping up with how pertinent the subject is to understanding the development of our society, especially the trends and cultures of our youth in the present times, as educators and of course as students. We all have observed the pivotal role social media influencers have on shaping our choices or opinions in various ambits of something as simple as picking a product as consumers, or as profound as our spiritual, political, and social worldview. So without further ado, I would like to invite our judges to kindly take their places. We have with us Mr. M.D. Roy, Pro Vice Chancellor from MLCU. Welcome, sir. If you can kindly take your seat. A round of applause for sir, please. Thank you for being with us, making time. Our second judge is Dr. Kimberly CM, clinical psychologist from Nigram's Hospitals. Thank you, ma'am, for coming and making time. And we have also with us Mr. Ibertin Kharkumar, who is a counselor from Shlam Jing Im Counseling Center. Thank you, sir, for making time for us again. And due to last minute changes, we have our speaker with us, Mr. Shiv K. Pradhan. Unfortunately, Dr. Batskam could not make it today. So we have, kindly sir, come and take your seat. Thank you so much, sir, for taking this on the last minute. So at this point, I would also like to invite all the participants for the motion on this side, please, and against on this side. Can you kindly come up, please? Applause for them. We are very excited to hear what we have to present for the motion and against the motion. At this juncture, I open the floor and leave the floor to our speaker, Mr. Shiv K. Pradhan, sir. He can take over with the rules, the announcement of the rules and other matters. Thank you.
Okay, one more time, a very good afternoon. And the debate was supposed to start at 1, but after the usual thing, we are now half an hour, 1 hour 30 minutes. Now we're going to start. Before we start, I would like although you have been briefed with regard to the rules, I think, we'll read it again one more time, and it's also for the benefit of the student, and I think the judges also have the copy of the rules, right? Okay, I'll just read it. Okay. So, shall we start? I think I'll request the Treasury and the opposition. Have you elected your leader? Okay, I request the Treasury and the opposition to elect your leader who will start. Okay, so we start the debate. Give a round of applause now, guys, we are starting. Okay, here goes the debate. Okay, fine.
A very good afternoon, respected speaker. To follow or to not follow? That is the question. And to follow influencers into tomorrow or remain in the Stone Age? That is also the question. Respected Speaker, I stand here today to attempt to influence the House into thinking that the rise of social media influencers is good for society. Respected Speaker, most of the influencers that we see today use their platforms and their voices to educate their viewers, to give them advice, guidelines, and to give them tips and tricks on how to deal with real-life problems. Real-life problems like how not to kill your ex in 10 or less steps, or maybe how to achieve the perfect winged liner. But regardless, respected Speaker, what we see here today is that social media influencers are raising a generation of viewers who are literate, who are educated, who are aware, socially and emotionally intelligent. Moreover, respected Speaker, these influencers are helping small businesses get exposure. Because let's face it, not everyone has money. We're poor, sadly, in this economy. But it is through these influencers that small businesses can get across to people. Products can help various other people. Respected Speaker, recently I came across a post where the influencer was speaking about how Indian culture still clings on to passive sexism. And it struck me that it's so sad that even in this society we've progressed so far, we still cling on to such ideals. But yet, it is thanks to these influences that again, the youth of today are made aware of such problems. It's made known to them that no, these things cannot stand to be as they are. We need to change the way society is running. So I think that if the rise of these influencers is happening, then I think that's a great thing that we are doing as a society. Moreover, respected speaker, when we talk about the concept of beauty, all we've ever thought about is the tall, slim, and beautiful people. No offense. But now, social media influencers are redefining what beautiful is. It can come in different shapes, sizes, and shades. And I think that social media influencers have played a great role in helping younger generations of today love themselves a little bit more than they did yesterday. So, in short, respected speaker, I think that if social media influencers, who are a section of society, who empower people, who educate people, and who make people aware of what is right and what is wrong, if these people are on the rise, then I think that we as a society are doing a brilliant thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am representing the opposition, which is against the motion. The rise of social media influencers is good for society. To start up, this debate does not believe that no social media can be good. It's about weighing up effects. It's about taking up consequences. Like, apparently, social media helps us understand better about what products we should buy, as if they are not already testing every single product, promoting them, to which they are not getting paid any money for. That is an entirely unrealistic conception of how this works. I'm looking at 2 points here. Number one, the harm to society, and number two, the harm to social media influencers themselves. Firstly, many social media influencers project curated, filtered lifestyles, projecting unattainable beauty standards, wealth, and perfection, which may often lead to anxiety and low self-esteem in its viewers. For example, with regards to this, a Royal Study of Public Health UK report says that 91% of 16 to 24-year-olds admit to having social media negatively impact their mental health. Secondly, addiction to the mental health of social media influencers themselves. The addiction of likes and comments and followers is vast. It's very vast, and a person can go far beyond limits to keep up his viral trend and stay on top. For example, if we all could remember during COVID-19, a study of MIT showed that false news spreads 6 times faster than true news, and which on social media, and that is often amplified by influencers. To contrast, the spread of misinformation. Unregulated content on social media means anyone can share their advice on topics such as politics, finance, and health, which often leads to dangerously misleading the public. Ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, this debate boils down to 2 things, which is this. We gave you a list of harms which are pretty severe misinformation about health. And of course, the benefits they gave you were also plausibly right. Yes, it gives a few people employment. Yes, it helps raise awareness between people, even though the vast majority aren't actually raising awareness. It is up to you to decide which side you're on. I know which side I'm voting for, which is the side that says on balance social media, so social media influencers do more harm than good. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to honorable speaker, sir, respected jury, and everyone present in the house. Today, I stand here to strongly support the motion which states that the rise of social media influencers are good for the society. let's talk about social media for a while. Before we even talk about the social media, let's talk about the stereotypes which we have. Are we all aware that our grandparents used to say, TV is bad, don't watch it. Same goes for our mom. She says, video game is bad, don't watch it, don't play it. Now we are blaming the social media. Now, Speaker Sir, come with the social media. Social media is not just misguiding us. No, it is educating us. Come on, let's be honest. How many of us study from YouTube? I guess we all, because some concepts are really difficult to find. Some concepts are really difficult. They require a lot of time. So, are teachers available 24/7? No. Is YouTube available? Yes. We can access it anytime, anywhere. Influencers are not just the one who entertain us dancing in the Eiffel Tower. They are also the one who teaches us coding, fitness, finance, etc. Speaker Sir, we are hearing the stereotype saying that influencers possess misguiding news. Really? The movements like Me Too, climate change, financial advisors, they are all spreaded through influencers, Speaker Sir. So are they really misguiding us? I don't think so, Speaker Sir. To follow up, Speaker Sir, there were many critics which says that news are more accurate than influencers. But Speaker Sir, it's very heartfelt for me to realize that there was none, literally none news about KIIT. All the news and awareness were given by the influencers. What has happened, how a girl died brutally, it was all given by the influencers, Speaker Sir. And it is not misguidance. It's the reality. The news was forced by the politicians to not speak up. But who spoke, Speaker Sir? It's the influencers, Speaker Sir. They are the one who guided us, who told us the reality about what's happening on this institute. In fact, I myself, from a computer background, Speaker Sir, I was hoping to get admission over there. But once I got the news, I myself am scared, Speaker Sir, about all the political affairs happening on the universities, Speaker Sir. So if it was not about the influencers, the news would never have been come on the screen. So are social media influencers misguiding us? Let's take example about Bhuvan Bhaum, Speaker Sir. He was a guy who literally had no good background of education, but now he is a sensation over there, Speaker Sir. And if this is the misguidance, I really want to be misguided that way, Speaker Sir, because I am earning really good. To conclude, Speaker Sir, social media influencers are not just the one who tell us what to do. They are giving us, the youth, a voice to speak, Speaker Sir, because in this world, to find a place to speak is really difficult, Speaker Sir, and social media and the influencers are helping us to speak, to say, and the freedom of speech, I feel, Speaker Sir, is present in the social media itself, Speaker Sir. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to each and everyone present here, Mr. Speaker, sir. And as I stand here before you today, I want to state that the rise of social media influencers is actually very detrimental to society, more than it is being good. Mr. Speaker, sir, if I were to open any social media app right now, I would be bombarded with advertisement that is trying to sell me something. If it's a lipstick, that'll change my lip color, or if it's a dress that will give me like the perfect hourglass shape or whatever. Yes, there is no denying that our influencers are determining what we purchase and what we consume. On a survey done by Statistica, 50%, more than 50%, 52% of the respondents admit to purchasing products recommended by influencers. This clearly shows that influencers drives overconsumption. Mr. Speaker, sir, overconsumption at an individual level, we might feel like it's very inconsequential, and the only thing it's hurting is our bank account. But at a global level, it is driving the environment into shambles. As our need for material goods grow, so does the shadows of environmental degradation and climate collapse. Another subset of influencers I want to talk about, the boys might be familiar with these people, are these manfluencers or manosphere influencers. So, who are these type of influencers? These are a network of influencers who promotes bigotry, who promotes anti-feminist ideologies, who believes that women belongs in the kitchen. So to better understand these people, let's take a look at Andrew Tate, a man who's so evil, charged with rape, human trafficking, and plethora of stuff. So this guy, he says that women are the reason that they are assaulted. The assault that they face is on them. And besides these outright misogynist things that he said, he also is a big racist. He also is a big racist who believes that Indian peoples are all dirty and that they smell like curry. Well, between you and me, Mr. Speaker, sir, I do not think that Indian people actually smells like curry. And to conclude, I want to emphasize that when we buy products that we don't even need, based on the recommendation of these influencers, it is not just a little silly fun purchase. We actually contribute to the environmental collapse of the earth. That is all. Thank you.
Very good afternoon, respected speaker, judges, the participant, and the audience present here. I firmly stand here from emotion. The topic is the rise of social media influencer is good for the society. Yes, I believe that social media influencer is good for society. First, they spread awareness through social. First of all, I would like to say, who are these social media influencers? We often consider them as a trendsetter. Yes, they are, because some of us and some of those people, especially I would say girls or boys. For girls who don't know how to do their makeup, beauty product, but then these social media, these influencers, they got these people through the social media platform, and of course they also spread awareness, through sustainability. They also spread awareness through sustainability. Mental health also is very important, because some of the youth people, they feel sometimes they're like feel depression and everything on. But then these influencers, they help them through these platforms. And also I'll say that they also help us start up businesses. They give the opportunities for this. They give the opportunities for the people to start up their businesses. Help them through influencer. These influencers, they help these people by showcasing their talents, their work, their hard work through social media, and also supporting the social cause. For example, these social media influencers, they run a fundraising program, because there are many things that happen in the world. For example, this happening in the Hyderabad, the forest that's been cleared, then a lot of animals are there. Then some of these influencers, they came up with an idea, and then they raised this fundraiser for this program. And also I say that this social media influencer, they are not bad. They are just people that help each and individual who feel insecurity for themselves, who have problems, but through social media influencer, they help each individual to give their best. Thank you.
To start off, Speaker Sir, why do we even need the social media influencers for a good impact to our societies? As everyone ponders upon this, a rainy afternoon to everyone assembled in the house, I, participant number 4, take my strong stance against the motion that rise of social media influencers is good for the society. Now, I want everyone to understand and also think about this. Social medias are means of socializing. Then why are we letting it influence our society in a wholesome? My worthy opponents really need to think about it. Meanwhile, to start off, firstly, it undermines communication and cultural values. Understand this, Speaker Sir. After the rise and coming of social media, most of us are busy virtually. We don't have any physical connection. Everything is being distant now. Now, everyone might think I'm deviating, but basically let's understand. Why is it happening? Because the bigger people, rather influencers, are dominating our psychological behavior. And that is why we are more often busy in the games and virtual arena rather than being physically connected. Additionally, it also has an adverse impact on the mental health. Now picture this. Social media influencers most of the time are, portraying very unattainable standards, be it beauty, be it the luxury, everything. And how are we expected to have something good curved out of it? Point to think, right? And if this continues, then scrolling feed would be an Olympics and our anxiety would be running marathons actually. Because as per a research conducted by Sarastika in 2023, it suggests that over 25% of adolescents are facing anxiety issues. Now that's a very high number when it comes to us youth. Social media influencers always confuses us because they bombard us with plethora of options, whether valid or invalid, real or unreal. Also, before I conclude, social media also leads to democratic discretion. Most of the debates about political issues in the social media is either propaganda or an uncertain resource to be relied on. So let's not make social media dominate us. Let's not dominate us and let's not make it influence our society so that we are free from all violations of confusion, unrealistic lifestyle, and all that you can think of. Thank you.
Media is a reflection of the society. Media is a reflection of the society. Greetings, Speaker Sir, members over here, jury, and members over there. What do we mean by this very topic that the rise of social media influences is good for society? Before debating on the very topic, let us try to dissect it. First of all, there are two main key issues, key words. That is, what is social media and what is influencers. Is it only Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or Are those only the instruments or mediums of social media interaction? No. What do we understand by social media? It is formed by two words, social and media. What is social? Which helps us to socialize with the other people. What is the media? It is a platform through which we can attain that. Social media is 21st century invention. I'm sorry, Instagram is a 21st century invention. How we used to converse, how we used to socially interact with people prior to the invention of these so-called apps, it is through newspapers. Because according to study, 88% of Indians use social media accounts. When I mean social media accounts, Instagram and all those things. But 100% of Indians study newspaper. I suppose speaker sir today studied newspaper. Madam over here, sir, everybody studied newspaper. Even I have to study newspaper. That is because psychology demands it, particularly in my course paper. So, now next is influencers. What is an influencer or who is an influencer? Influencer is a person or a medium which influences the other person. Come on, India is a democratic society. Do you think Ranveer Ahlabadia? Do you think Bhuvan Bam? Do you think all those self-proclaimed social influencers influence our decisions? No. Today, in India, in this 78th anniversary of Indian independence, it is very shameful to say that religion and caste influence our choices more than those social media algorithms. Though we stay in a democratic society, but societal issues like unemployment, like poverty, like caste issues, like religious biasness, they prefer us to make decisions rather than those social media algorithms. The second is, what is good for society can only be understood by the content it delivers. What content does the social media platforms deliver? It delivers reels. What does those reels do? First of all, it snatches our sleep timing, which is very bad. Second, what does it do? It consoles us. Consoles us in a very temporarily, in a very cosmetic manner. But what does newspapers do? They help us to make informed opinions. They help us to be a responsible and informed citizen of the society. That is important. Because if there is a rise, that rise, is it good or bad, will depend on the content it gives to the society to make informed opinions. Therefore, I always say, and I will keep on stressing, so media is a reflection of society, and societal issues are more important than those social media algorithms. Thank you.
The rise of social media influencer is good for the society, as the motion of the debate says. If it's true, I would like to remind the House as well that even fast food will be better for our health, and even plastic will be better for the environment. And today, I stand here strongly against the motion, not for just one day, but I would like to prove my point that I would stand till my last breath. Respected Speaker, one thing that we have been continuously going about, that how social media actually influences us. But the term social media, the platform social media was not created in a way that would influence and impact our life, that kids nowadays, while scrolling through Instagram, they have to believe that an 18-year-old child with a Mercedes that he has rented has a better life compared to someone who has formal education. This is what social media has done to us. Let me remind the House again, as we scroll through Instagram every night watching through the reels, what we see, the products that believe us and again makes us believe that Fair and Lovely is something that we should put our priorities on. We believe that products that will make us slim within 30 days. If it's that so, then I think that AIM should be disqualified. AIM should be dismantled. Because if these problems can be solved through social media influencers promoting things that actually don't imply, there is no accountability, no facts, no proof, no formal education, but they promote things. I believe social media is not a platform for cultural improvement, but a platform for cultural exploitation. I'd also like to remind the House, as well as the respected Speaker, that a report in 2023 by National Institute of Medical Sciences as well as Neuroscience has clearly stated that 32% of the student population are always engaged in depression and anxiety due to social media. And this is not because they are not getting free Wi-Fi. This is because they are believing that someone behind the screen has a better life just because they have a picture perfect body. They believe that someone having a car at the age of 20 by doing affiliate marketing has a better life compared to someone who is walking under the sunlight. Social media has made us believe that we are living a life that is always better when we stay in front of the ring light. But only when we work is the nation going to be developed. Otherwise, I don't believe the number of likes, the number of followers what we have today will decide the future in the long run. Because at the end of the day, respected speaker, I would like to remind the House as well that history won't repeat who was viral. History will repeat someone who spoke against this truth, who spoke against the fact that social media has deployed us. I would like to also say, in reference to the past, when Assam was struggling with floods, influencers went there and made reels about it. They didn't go with relief camp materials. When there was incident in the Kolkata RG car case, there were influencers making memes as well as reporting about it. But only the trend was in social media. But in actual ground, we all know what is going to happen here. At the end of the day, I would like to put one question to the mind of the House. Is social media something that is actually giving you information or ruling your life? Thank you so much.
The most powerful weapon in the world is not a gun or a bomb. It is an idea shared by the right time, by the right voice. Honorable Speaker, sir, esteemed judges, and everyone in the audience. This is not a trivial debate about fleeting trends or digital distractions. This is about power, those who wields it, those who challenges it, and those who democratizes it. And those who still refuse to believe in this are still clinging to a world that no longer exists. Firstly, social media influencers are breaking the monopoly of traditional media. Mr. Speaker, sir, for decades, a handful of corporations have decided what we believe, what we are, what we value, and what we see. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, now it is the people who decide. Now, a farmer from Kenya can go viral talking about his agricultural education, or a teacher or a professor can break the barriers of a classroom teaching millions of students all around the world. These are not just influencers. These are people changing the lives of many others. And secondly, politicians can no longer hide, brands can no longer hide, institutions can no longer hide. Social media influencers expose hypocrisy and they demand transparency. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is not a question about if social media influencers are good for society or shaping our society, because they already are. The real question is, are we ready to embrace this change? Are we ready to harness this potential? The answer is very obvious. In front of us, Mr. Speaker, lies a world where one voice, one idea can ignite an entire revolution, while the world behind us is being created by those who believe that they are better than us, by those in the back rooms, big corporations, politicians, many others. This is not just progress. This is justice, this is democracy, and this is the future, refusing to wait for any permission. So I will leave you with this, Mr. Speaker, sir. When it is our time for our history to be written, there will be two types of people. Those who fear the change and those who become the change. Thank you.
Well, it's quite brilliantly said that if you need to reach a larger audience, appeal to idiots. This is not me saying, this is Arthur Schopenhauer who said it. What even is an influencer? Back in ancient times, did we have influencers? We had philosophers who would question life and death, who would discuss life's biggest questions like what is justice and why do we exist? And now the influencers question us, why do we even exist? Now they tell us how their favorite lip gloss entirely changed their life. The big question is, do you really need influencers? So you consider your parents and your grandparents to be dumb because they were not influenced by somebody. Are you not enough sound with your opinions? I think I am. Respected Speaker, sir, I stand here against the motion that rise of social media influencers is good for society. Yes, I do appreciate the points put forward by the members of the Treasury bench, but I would like to ask the House to take out 5 seconds and think, how many times have you bought something after viewing it on Instagram? Almost every day. You can't deny it. Social media influencers are on the path of making society ideal. Do you think anything called ideal exists in reality? Oh, the other day I heard Plato also wanted an ideal society. I'm still searching for him to ask, in which part of Sri Lanka can I find it? I don't think anywhere. Idealism doesn't exist in reality. They have started selling unrealistic beauty standards. They have started telling the world that you can have perfect bodies, glass skin tone, perfect footwears and clothing. No. Have you ever think about the children who come from financially challenged families? Do you know how hard your parents work to earn their salaries and give you the best of their lives? And we keep on complaining because we see it on Instagram. Because I saw my friend wearing H&M and Zara, I want it. This is influence. You don't choose it. You're hooked to Instagram. You're hooked to whatever the influencers say. No. Idealism doesn't exist. I don't. I am considered a grandma in the group of Gen Z. No, I'm happy. I'm really happy because I am what I am. I don't have to prove the world by copying somebody. Today the question is of imitating and not imitating. The imitating is considered to be the liminal future, the debate in the present, and I stand for the reality. Idealism doesn't exist in reality, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Speaker, sir, I don't agree to the fact that you really need social media influencers to live. No. I don't really agree that you need YouTube to study. I don't. We have incredible teachers, you have incredible books. Go read it up. You have 24 hours. If you cut down your time on watching something stupid called Reels, oh my God, can't. You can't. Read books, there's so much to learn. I know you cannot deny the so-called the pivotal role of influencers. I don't call it pivotal anymore. But you can regulate your thought process and escape for human damage. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.
Influence is not just about views, likes, and followers. A lot goes more into being an influencer and actually a social leader with an ability to influence. It needs a lot of patience, consistency, and uniqueness to establish oneself as an influencer. A very good afternoon, respected speaker, sir, and to everyone present here. I stand here for the motion stating that the rise of social media influencers is good for society. Now, why do I think that, Speaker, sir? Firstly, the rise of social media influencers have also led to the rise in various contents present in social media. There is a diversity in contents ranging from educational content, motivational content, fashion, cooking, etc. Thus, providing us with knowledge regarding specific niches and also helping us youths to realize where our talent lies, and also they have provided us with role models who can teach us and also inspire us to showcase our talents and expertise. Secondly, Speaker, sir, the rise of educational social media influencers have benefited a lot for the society. For example, Alak Pandey, a significant social media influencer who have provided quality education through YouTube and also at affordable prices. This influencer have broken down the barriers for students who might not be able to afford expensive coaching centers. Thirdly, social media influencers have also contributed to social movements. Number one, in raising awareness and debunking misinformation, example, Dhruv Rathi. Number two, in raising awareness for social and advocating for social causes. And number three, they have also organized movements which is beneficial for society. Fourthly, Mr. Speaker, sir, I think the rise of social media influencers, especially social media influencers who love traveling and exploring different cultures around the world, have also impacted the tourism industry of the country and as well as of our state. Our state has attracted more tourists because of these social media influencers. So they have contributed largely to the economy of the state and also creating job opportunities for locals who don't have the education to opt for other career options. Fifthly, Mr. Speaker, sir, social media influencers can also garner their attention to various social issues and provide ways for us people to help contribute through charitable trusts to help people who are affected by famines, disasters, and even the underprivileged community of the society. For example, the rising social media influencer through YouTube like JR storyteller Lyndon has been beneficial for society. So, with the rise of social media influencers, authenticity and transparency have also become non-negotiable for influencers because we as audience seek genuine connection. And it is very crucial for us to evaluate critically of the information we are exposed to every day and to consider the reason behind it. As the famous saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. So also we as audience have that great power, and that power is to choose, and so we should use that power responsibly. Thank you.
Good afternoon, respected Speaker, sir. In today's digital day and age, social influencers have become modern-day celebrities, attracting followers, setting trends, setting opinions. But let us ask ourselves, at what cost? Today, I firmly stand here against the motion that social media influencers are not good for society. First of all, social media influencers, they promote unhealthy beauty standards. With their heavily photoshopped and filtered photos, this not only fuels insecurity, but it also makes us question our own self-worth. A very famous influencer by the name of Alana Linto once said in one of her TED Talks that this particular brand had asked her to be the face of that brand. And to her surprise, she was asked to edit 3 pimples on her face. That made her question, if the authentic part of social media is fabricated, then what is real? Let us talk about mental health issues. We can see that there is a big rise in mental health issues among youths today. Why is that? In contrast to the older generation, see, people in the past did not need updates, they were not living on trends, they were just living a simple life. See, they formed their role models through their parents, teachers, community leaders, not through a stranger online. So, life didn't have to be aesthetic, it just had to be real. And an influencer by the name Chris O'Donnell, in one of his last posts, said that when I die, when I leave this earth, when I'm laying in the dirt, will you remember my name? Because of mental health issues, he unalived himself because of depression. Respected Speaker, sir, youths are facing identity crisis. They don't even know themselves because they are so influenced by social media. They said they are saying that they identify as he, she, him, her, frog, cats, and whatnot. They don't even know themselves. When an accident happens on the road, the first thing people do is take out their phones and make reels instead of helping that poor person. Respectfully, Speaker, sir, what kind of generation are we living that people prioritize likes and shares more than a human life? And then people are taking advices of these social media influencers when they don't even have the right qualifications. They are taking medical, finances, political advice, and some influencers are even seen taking a side of a particular party because they have been given money to. So they take these sides, and it left us wonder what is wrong with society. In conclusion, I would like to say that we should critically analyze what we put in our minds on a daily basis. We should hold these influencers accountable we, as a society, we should educate these younger generations. Because sure, they dominate our screens, but we should not let us dominate. We should not let them dominate our minds. It is up to us how much they influence us. Thank you.
What if I told you that a 60-second reel saved a life? That a tweet brought justice when the media stays silent? That a beauty blogger revived an economy of an entire village? Good afternoon, respected speaker, sir. Today I'm standing here not to glorify influencers, but to prove with evidence, with ethics, and with empathy that they are undoubtedly good for the society. Firstly, let's start with education, shall we? Marcus Brownlee's 18 million subscribers on his YouTube channel doesn't just passively scroll through his account. They actively learn from his videos, because his AI ethic videos gain over 5 million views in just 1 week, teaching the youth about the future of technology and even helping them guide through and securing jobs. And secondly, respected speaker, sir, the influencer economy is not a joke. It is a 21.1 billion superpower and a powerhouse. Influencer like Huda Khatam turned a blog into an entire multi-million-dollar company, employing over 200 plus people, showcasing that it's not just influence anymore, it is an enterprise. Even in Meghalaya, influencers like Senator Marie, who showcases the local vendors and local weavers of Meghalaya, exploring and showcasing their talent to the entire world. In 2024, respected speaker, sir, the Kolkata-based doctor was brutally raped and murdered, but the media stayed silent. It was the influencers who, like Being Human's tweet, who reached about 500,000 people, and then influencer-led activism, which brought thousands of people on the street to protest for their justice. Respected speaker, sir, if that's not good for the society, I don't know what is. Respected speaker, sir, while the media moves on, the influencer stays on with us. Influencers like Motaz Azaiza, who's an influencer, showcases the struggle that the daily people face in places like places of war zone, where they are suffering from, when the people are suffering from starvation. They showcases the struggle of, showcase the struggle of people from war zone, and then help, the crying out for help for those people. In Manipur itself, it was the influencers who first raised the alarm about the issues happening there right now, and the media followed afterwards. Respected speaker, sir, the Northeast India's rich culture is now being explored and being recognized due to these very influencers. The mainstream media has ignored the Northeast culture for decades now. The influencers come and explore the cultural food, the cultural language, and cultural traditional clothes, and helping the local festivals like Cherry Blossom to the rest of the world, giving it the recognition that it truly deserves. What these influencers have done in 3 years, the mainstream media didn't do in 3 decades. Sir, in this year, 2025 March, the Telangana forest cries was heard by not media, but influencers like Pratik, whose drone footages was shared about Twitter, Twitter in like almost 100,000 people shared it, and forced the Supreme Court to halt the deforestation in that area. It wasn't the politician, it wasn't the media who supported it. It was the influencer. Thank you, sir.
A very good afternoon to you, respected judges, respected speakers, and everyone present in this house. I stand here to argue against a motion that says the rise of social media influences is good for the society. Let me convince you otherwise. Firstly, Speaker Sir, I would like to quote the words from an American writer, Shoshana Zuboff, who said, "The influencer industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry that is built on the backs of people's insecurities, which I agree 100%. Because in this contemporary world, many firms and businesses are profiting from the insecurities of the people, especially their emotional vulnerabilities, like their low self-esteem, then the body image issues, then they are scared to, they are fear of not catching up with the updates, then the desire for validation or acceptance, etc. These influencers often use these insecurities of the people in order to promote their products and services. Politically, Speaker Sir, these influencers hold massive, often unvalidated views on public opinion. For instance, many influencers, social media influencers on platforms like YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, etc., they have played a major role in creating a false information about the 2020 US election and said that it is rigid and stolen. As a result, many, in fact thousands, stormed the Capitol, resulting in many deaths, injuries, and the major disruption of the democratic process. Furthermore, Speaker Sir, influencers can expose children and growing youngsters to explicit and sexual content, normalizing hypersensitive contents to children. For example, there's these trends that are happening on TikToks and Instagram, such as the silhouette challenge and even the bust it challenge. They have these sexually suggestive transformations and poses which are being replicated, which influence the growing youngsters and the teenagers to do those things. And this exposes them to the adult themes. This not only accelerates the loss of childhood innocence, but also other risks such as online grooming, cyberbullying, and even body dysmorphia among the growing youngsters. And even in economic aspect, this is having a very negative impact because of the impulsive consumerism and materialism. Everything that is shown on the screen, especially the growing youngsters, they have the curiosity to experience what is being told by the person behind the camera. And whenever they use those products or services, most of the times, they find them not useful at all. So I would like to include that everything that is beautiful is not actually beautiful, but in fact, it can be toxic when you put it in your flesh and blood. Thank you so much.
The rebuttal round. Judges, the rebuttal round.
A very good afternoon once again, respected Speaker. I am a very firm believer in the idea of individualism. And what I mean by this is that as I was sitting there, I was listening to the opposition present their points, and a very interesting statement that I kept hearing again and again is that influencers influence people into overconsumption and having negative thoughts about themselves. Now, I would like to rebut that by saying that we as people have two things: self-control and critical thinking skills. If an influencer told me to drink poison, best believe I will not take that poison, because I have a mind of my own and I have a will of my own. So I think that it is very patronizing for the opposition as well as for people in general to just assume that social media influencers are bad because they influence us to indulge in overconsumption. Moreover, respected speaker, I think people are in charge of the way that they view themselves. How can an influencer be blamed for your depression and your anxiety when you are the one who is consuming their content? There's a very interesting philosophy that I live by in life, and that is, if you cannot fight it, run for your life. I know it sounds very cowardly, but it's survival. So if you cannot stand to take a certain influencer's content, if you think that it is triggering, then I suggest that you should not consume their content to begin with. Moreover, respected speaker, I think a very strong and interesting point brought up by the opposition was also how children are exposed to the dangers of society and perhaps things that they are not ready to take in. Respected speaker, there's a family center button in Instagram. There's age-appropriate content. There are safety and security settings on so many social media apps. They're there for a reason. And I think that parents, especially the parents, are responsible for what their children are consuming. So, respected speaker, I feel that it should not be the social media influencers who we should blame. It is us, it is society. We cannot propagate social media influencers if we do not consume their content. We cannot promote toxic beauty standards if we do not subscribe to these beauty standards. A product will never sell if we do not buy. So I'd like to end my rebuttal speech, respected speaker, by saying that it is up to us as a society whether to consume content or not. We have free will, we have critical thinking skills. The power is in our hands, not behind the screen, not in some stranger, not in some influencer's hand. It is us. Thank you so very much.
Well, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to present you the rebuttal round. And the first point that I would like to make is against contestant number 1, which he just stated that if you can't take in a bad influence, then just change your influence. Well, the whole idea of social media is that we get different types of influence from all around. We take in the bad and the good, we take in the right and the wrong together, and what we sum up from all of that is based on us. Well, when you look at it in a way, when you take in the bad influence and the good influence, sometimes you get influenced towards the bad. You cannot change that for a fact. And the second point is that the Treasury side made a mention of TVs. Well, the whole idea of smartphones and tablets, the whole order, the algorithm that they are based on is to make us addictive to it. You know, it's not like TV, which you can switch it off and watch it tomorrow. It's given to us easy-handedly, and that makes us very addictive to these devices. The third point is that someone also made a mention of news, you know, compared to social media. When you look at news, there are journalists and experts who write articles on various incidents that happened and inform and help us stay informed about it. But when you look at social media, they lack accountability, they lack responsibility towards any news that they put on social media. For example, a few months ago, actually, an FIR was filed against an influencer named Akash. Along with his 2 companions, he was caught chanting religious slogans such as Jai Shri Ram at a church in Maulanong, located in the East Khasi Hills district of Meghalaya. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this influencer went so far as to disrespecting the ideals of the church in order to gain to go viral for a few bucks. Fourthly, if influencer is not about likes and comments and followers, what is it even about? The whole idea of having a social media influencer account is to gain more followers, is to have more likes and comments every day. to conclude this, while social media the law of social media is undeniable, and individual success stories exist. We believe that the points given it dwells into a less positive side of how it impacts our society. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Very good afternoon once again. So, Speaker Sir, while sitting on the chair, I was listening to the sugar coating of the oppositions. So let me give you a little bit of salt because too much of sugar also causes diabetes. I hope you know. So they were talking about watching fast foods, getting updates, news related to fast food. First of all, Speaker Sir, I would like to say that me, myself, being a computer student, I know that social media works on algorithms. So what you feed, what you like, and what you dislike shows what is being sold to you. So if you are disliking all the fast foods, you will never appear. Just like in my case, it appears most of the coding videos. Speaker Sir. So I feel like the algorithm out here is responsible, and basically the opposition themselves are responsible for eating too much of fast food. To continue, they were talking about depression, anxiety. Two fascinating words. But Speaker Sir, I would also like to tell you that social media influencers are also the one who helps us to get out. Because when we can't speak up to our parents, when we can't speak up to our colleagues, what we do? We look out for social media. And Speaker Sir, it has been proven that 40% of the fitness influencers have helped those people who were depressed and were in the verge of even killing themselves, Speaker Sir. So, influencers are not totally bad, Speaker Sir. To continue with, someone was again talking about news, Speaker Sir. So, news, Speaker Sir, don't we think that news of our Prime Minister being 62 years old, climbing or going down to a stairs without using the hand, is it something that should be showed up in the news channel in compared to China? No, right, Speaker Sir? Then why are we seeing this type of content? Because even news wants ratings. They want some hype in their content by creating that this actor went with this actress. This actor has married that actress. Why are we seeing it, Speaker Sir, if news was so truthful? To continue, opinions. The Speaker Sir, the major term which was bombarded in the whole stadium, Speaker Sir, the opinions. Speaker Sir, aren't we enough to get our own opinions? While the opposition is fighting against the motion, aren't they enough to get their own opinions? Then why are they getting influenced and purchasing the outfits from Zara? To continue, books. Speaker Sir, books aren't free. I would like to remind them. So, if you are purchasing too much of books, it still costs you money. They were talking about financially incapable person, and they are also asking us to purchase books, and some books may even cost more than 1,000, Speaker Sir. I'm talking specifically about computer books which I follow. So YouTube provides us free content, and why shouldn't I use it? Why should I purchase book which is costing 1,000, 2,000 or even 5,000, Speaker Sir? With this, I'd like to conclude that not all social media influencers are bad. It's like a knife. Either you chop your hand or you chop the vegetables. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me time to speak again on the rebuttal round. As I hear the proposition bringing up points, the first thing I want to address is that my worthy debater here says that she doesn't, Mr. Speaker, sir, she says that she doesn't get influenced to purchase stuff. But then that is a personal opinion, a personal belief. But then the statistics shows that 52% of Indian people aged between 15 to 55 actually get influenced and make purchases based on influencer recommendations. So there is a lot of I, but there is no I in society. So it is the overarching story that we do get influenced by social media, and we do buy and add to overconsumption. The another point that I would like to ask is that there is a lot of talk about activism, promoting activism from social media set by the proposition. But do you think that a revolution will be brought to you by social media influencers? An actual activist, Gil Scott Heron, said that the revolution will not be brought to you. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. So influencers for activism, they work in the existing they exercise their power in the existing framework that social media, the app that they're using, are letting them do. They have to follow guidelines, and also this doesn't mean that social media is going to bring about change. And the third point that I would like to bring is that there is a lot of many of my fellow debaters brought the point that educational videos are helping people. They are one of the biggest influencers. But when we look at the statistics, a study done by Hani A. Albani, she says that only 11% of the influencers produce educational videos, whereas 46% only produces lifestyle videos, beauty videos, and gaming videos. 46% compared to 11%, Mr. Speaker, sir. Where those 46% produces lifestyle videos. Yes, thank you.
First, I would like to say, in a survey of Edelman Trust Barometer 2023, 63% of Gen Z response said that they trust influencer more than the traditional celebrity or even government figures. So, for this rebuttal round, I would like my point to say that from the opposition, they said that some of the influencers selling unhealthy products. Well, I firmly believe that that is not true, because as you can see, these influencers, I will say from Shillong, we have so many influencers from Shillong who sell beauty products like Pema Leilani, then Catherine. These two influencers, they are the top notch of influencers in Shillong. They help each individual like selling good products, and they also help these influencers. They promoting mental health sustainability to millions of youth for giving them positive message through social media. And yes, over 41% of influencers globally are female. And yes, they promote gender equity and diversity. Thank you.
A very good afternoon again. All right, I remember my worthy opponents arguing that all that it takes to gain to the fame is consistency and uniqueness. But what? In the name of uniqueness, you cannot go selfie man and lady. I mean, how ridiculous that sounds. Basically, all that I'm trying to say is, there's no check whether the uniqueness is good or bad. Then how does it influence in a good way? Also, I remember my worthy opponent very strongly putting forward algorithm. Being a computer science background, algorithm is manipulatable, and that should have been known. It's a very clear-cut fact. Now, understanding this is very crucial. You can pay and then rank your content high in social media, and that's what people will see. So basically, you're forced to see. Your freedom to see and what not to see is being snatched away. Also, to give you a reality check, Speaker Sir, it is always seen that a controversial statement will garner more applaud than hours of thoughtful analysis. And that's a very big thing to be considered. Also, I remember something on poison. Yeah, I understand. We definitely are not going to take poison. But what if you are marketed slow poison? Now that's what is there in every product and everything that you consume. Because scrolling through reels leads to insomnia and all sorts of things you can think. Consuming other products that you see or not see or buy by your choice has a lot of hidden materials that actually are marketed to be good. That's why there was a movement called Label Padho India, and it's only because of that. Moving forward, capital-driven social media influencers. According to a 2023 report by Influencer Marketing Hub, more than 75% of the collaborations and everything that is put out on social media is paid. Basically, money, you know. So, then who takes the accountability of them to be real and authentic? That's why I say, social media influencers obviously are individuals. And they are very subjective with their opinions. So why should we let them influence the society, the entire society? No, right? It's a very unequal proportion. So please, it's a humble request. Social media influencers are mere individuals again. So refrain from letting them dominate you, as I ended my previous speech. Thank you.
I'm rather very perplexed to see in this very stage, with our very statements, that we have considered that those people who appear on reels are social media influencers. My dear members of the House, don't be in this illusion that they are social media influencers. Because if you agree to that, come on, who's going to win the debate? Everybody is agreeing to the same topic. Let us debate. So the first thing which we need to debate is, let us take some names. Somebody mentioned about where do we find idealism in Shillong. Yeah. Madam, I found idealism in the madam sitting on the second bench. Because Urfi Javed is a social media influencer. We all know her attires. Can you please refer to ma'am's attire? It's Jansen, very native to this place. We can find idealism in Shillong only when we come out of our social media obsession that whatever is seen in social media is true. Second, everybody is stating facts that from 19 to 24 years of age, people are using social media. Come on, 19 to 24 years of age of people do not constitute the entire society. It is constituted from the very moment a child is born today to the very moment a person is dead. That entire range of people living in the society from infancy to death consider a society. It is not just only those 19 to 24% of people living in the society that they constitute society. The second part is, we are all in this obsessive world that, if I could quote what Albert Einstein used to say, that the greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance nor arrogance, rather the illusion of knowledge. The illusion is purely highlighting over here. They are in this very obsessive, I would say OCD, Madam will understand pretty well. They are in this very obsessive disorder that whatever is shown in the social media must have been true. No, it is not true. We should not consider people appearing on our reels as social media influencers. Who are people who are influencing our society? It is APJ Abdul Kalam who is influencing our society. Even after his death, he influences more people than those Ranveer Alabadia type of people who, through their one reel, could gather more views. More views does not constitute our influences. Influences are considered by the content we try to exercise in the society. Thank you.
In this esteemed house, I believe the proposition team has pondered upon many facts that they are questioning about accountability, they are questioning about things that I mentioned in the previous speech. By the way, whatever reports that I mentioned is not made by me when I was sleeping yesterday at night. It was made by the research institutions where they have factually proved not with facts, just with research as well. They have proved that actually the Indian population have suffered from it. And it's not a minute population that we speak about. Let me remind the House again. India has the highest youth population, by the way. Compared to the developed nation, we are having the most number of youths. And today's youth, what are they engaged in? Investing upon stocks without even a finance degree. Investing upon things that they don't even have any idea about. Looking into the mirror and questioning about his own self, that my favorite influencer is so perfect body, but what I have is only a fat belly. At the end of the day, what we are debating about is not the freedom of expression, not how social media is being used. We are talking about how it is impacting the society in a detrimental manner as being a member of the opposition. I would like to remind the House as well that we talk that social media influencers are role models. What role models we talk about? In Punjab 2023, a youth influencer, I don't like to mention the name, but she kidnapped herself live just to get views and likes. And someone mentioned about it creates jobs. Let me remind, if it creates jobs, then even scam centers in Bangalore, they also create jobs. Money that is earned within seconds can also be vanished within seconds. If you're relying on economy that is social media driven, let me remind, when you are 60 years old, you won't be allowed to dance in the reel and no one is going to like your reel. Only when we are driven through realistic approach, only when we are driven through things that will actually drive our economy, then only we will be a Viksit Bharat that we talk about. And lastly, we also talk about something that is called about political awareness. I believe if we rely on reels for political awareness, a 15-second reels, a news article is no comparison for that. A 15-second reel that is driving our political mindness will definitely be a cause where our democracy will lie. So only when we are using about our mind, then only we can rely on something that will make for sure that the social media is actually impacting our life. And lastly, I would like to summarize one point mentioned by the proposition that was about individuality. What individuality a 3-year-old kid have when she is looking at the phone continuously? Thank you so much.
Philosopher, one of my opponents said, okay, let's see. Mr. Aristotle, the most famous philosopher in the world, you know what he said? He said a good wife, a good woman, should be as obedient as a slave. Now, let's imagine if we didn't have any social media influences. Now, let's think. Let's imagine if Mr. Aristotle was still alive. Obviously, people will believe him. This is what we are arguing. Social media influencers is a broad concept. Anyone can go against Mr. Aristotle. But not back then. When Mr. Aristotle said a good woman or a good wife should be as obedient as a slave, obviously, everyone will believe him. And books. My opponent said education is from books. What books? I have a friend in my class 12. She didn't come to school. She didn't have the financial security to come to school, obviously. How can she buy books? 1,000, 2,000 books? No. 300 a month she paid for internet fees. She learned from teachers, from professors who are also social media influencers. Now, can I say, Mr. Speaker, that I'm more inferior than her when she studied from YouTube or any other social media network? In this world where information is a lot, ignorance is a choice. And I would like to conclude my speech, Mr. Speaker, sir, that influencers are very good for society. Thank you.
I'm both amazed and amused because I've heard of comparisons between APJ Abdul Kalam and Urfi Jabir, which is hilarious. This is where we have come to. This is where we are standing. Congratulations on being part of the 21st century. I heard a point put forward by the members of the Treasury bench that a 60-second reel saved your life. For God's sake, we have to stop enrolling for the MBBS course. We have reels, we can save life. We cannot buy books because we don't come from financially stable families, but we can have cell phones. Go to Instagram, pay 300 rupees fees. I was doing an internship in a school and I was teaching class 12 students. The NCRT doesn't cost so much. You can get second-hand books. It's how it is. I don't say it's choice. It's involuntary. It's here in your psychology. It's involuntary. Trust me. It's never your opinions and choices. It's never our opinion. We mimic, we imitate, we do what the other person does. This is how life is. So you mean to say that if there wasn't any influencer, there wouldn't have been any justice? Wasn't there any justice before the influencers take a toll over society? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are hooked. We have been brainwashed. We have been bombarded with so much of facts, no, false information. Who would take care of the mental health? We had World Mental Health Day, recently, where we spoke about anxiety, depression and whatnot. These are means to develop anxiety. There are other means too, but these are the stronger ones. It's involuntary, it's in your psychology. And it's high time we escape from this human damage. It's high time. I'm not asking anybody to live without Instagram, Facebook, or any social media handles, but you have to agree that these social media influencers hold a lion's share of our thought process. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great evening ahead.
Mr. Speaker, sir, these are my rebuttal points for the points put forward by the opposition team. Firstly, social media influencers, the rise in the diversity of social media influencers have inspired youths who have the talents and who have the capabilities to showcase their talents in social media. So they have created new job opportunities for these youths also. Secondly, the word ideal doesn't exist. Even the ideal gas equation doesn't exist in real life. So when you mentioned about that some social media influencers set unrealistic expectations, that's why the rise of social media influencers is good for society, because there is diversity and we get to choose. Because other social media influencers might put forth realistic expectations also, and not creating unrealistic expectations. Thirdly, as one of the members stated that social media influencers always go for money. All of us, we need money, and there's a saying that goes, no money, no honey. So, these social media influencers are being held legally. With the rise of these social media influencers, there will also be a rise in implementing various laws and legislations. For example, the Consumer Protection Act that was passed on 2019, that tells the social media influencers that they have to put and mention that whatever the products they are promoting, they have to mention it in their content that they are paid promotions, so as to let us audiences know that they are just promoting the product for money. So it depends on us. And also the rise of social media influencers, and especially those with questionable practices, has also made us audiences to be more vigilant while listening to social media influencers. Therefore, another benefit for society, that we should not trust blindly but do our own research before we trust them. So I'd like to conclude my rebuttal speech, Speaker Sir, by saying social media influencers do not influence us, but we have the power, we give the power to social media influencers to influence us, and we get to choose which social media influencers influence us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Social media. Let's put an emphasis on social. Well, social media is meant for us to connect with old ones, with our loved ones. It is not meant to be obsessed, for us to be so obsessive with celebrities. See, it is meant for us to post and to share and to talk good things about them, to chat. Because I see so many people out here commenting crazy things on celebrities. But then I assure you that your relatives need your support more than Kim Kardashian ever will. And the Treasury bench here claims that influencers help us love ourselves. And who are they to tell us that you have to love yourself, you have to do this? I thought that was a given. What about the time when during our parents and grandparents that they didn't have social media? How come I don't see them hating themselves? See, the Treasury bench also claims that this platform known as YouTube, they help them learn coding. If that is the case, then why do you come to college and get a degree? Why are you wasting your parents' money? Why don't you just sit at home and watch YouTube the whole day and learn? Well, you see, a lot of things, we misread a lot of things sometimes. If you have money to buy a whole mobile phone to study, to watch YouTube, why don't you have money to buy books? Respected speaker, sir, they're also taking medical, financial, political advices from people that are not even qualified. Sure, you're happy, I'm getting this information, but are those people even qualified to give you that information? How do you know that the information that they're giving are right? You can't just blindly follow everything you see on the internet. Thank you.
Respected Speaker, sir, the beauty standard that the opposition bench were talking about, they said that the influencers are to blame it, but that's not the case. The beauty standards are just a mere reflection of the failure of the society, that we have failed us and then we haven't taught the self-worth to the kids who are in the society right now. With the opposition bench taught us, said that the influencers, the ads are very overbearing, coming from here and there, everywhere. But it's not the fault of influencers that there are ads in the apps, but it's the fault of the platform itself. Influencers are just one part of that platform. One of the opposition bench said that why learn from YouTubers and why learn from YouTube teachers when there are incredible teachers that she has learned from. But she has failed to mention that those incredible teachers they come at a cost, they come at a price. The students who are not able to afford those teachers can go and learn from online sources where you can find incredible teachers, extra qualified and amazing at what they do, teaching everyone and anyone at the same cost and even at a zero cost. Respected Speaker, sir, the opposition bench talked about the misinformation spread by the influencers. But the harsh truth is that the influencers who are truth and who care about the information are way faster than the misinformed ones. And and one of the opposition bench said about the attention-seeking part that the influencers only go and only talk about an event because they want to seek attention and they want to seek likes from it. But if that attention, that like is what we needed at that point of time for that particular cause. According to a Harvard study, 44% of people below the age of 30 trust influencers more than media, because the influencers are faster, fiercer, not like traditional media who are slower and way more filtered. Respected Speaker, sir, I would like to say, let's blame the misuse of the tool and not the tool itself. One might come up and argue that the influencers are like cloud chasers and they are fake, but are there not corrupt journalists? Yes, there are. Are there not lazy politicians? Yes, there are many lazy politicians. But we don't stop democracy, we don't stop journalism, do we? So why do we hold these influencers to the standards that no one else meets? This question I want you to take with you today. Thank you.
Good afternoon again, everyone. One of the arguments said by one of the members of the Treasury bench is that these social media influencers, they help people to reach a perfect life. They teach perfect means and ways of life. But the life that they portray is so perfect, it is too perfect to be true. And do we even realize how do they reach that level of perfection? Most of them use Botox, fillers, surgery to become beautiful and handsome. And some use steroids to become fit. Moreover, in educational perspective, from the Treasury bench, we can hear that most of the influencers, they give very high value education. Do we even realize that the education they give is correct or valid? If so, then why do we need schools and colleges? We should stay at home and learn from them. Proceeding further, Speaker Sir, someone talk about sustainability. My question is, where is sustainability when social media influencers promote impulsive consumerism and materialism? More resources are being extracted so as to meet the demands of the people. Is that sustainability? Do we even give a chance to our future generations to use these resources because of our overconsumption? Proceeding further, Speaker Sir, someone talk about talents. Okay. A lady dressed in erotic outfits, dancing erotically in front of a camera, affecting the mindset of the growing youngsters and children. Do we call that talent? Moreover, someone from the Treasury bench said that more influencers meaning more contents and more information. Well, too much information will damage the brains and we'll get headaches. We will not know whom to believe and what to do. Like the saying said, too many cooks spoil the broth. Lastly, someone talk about tourism. An influencer can enhance the tourism of a country. Well, if one influencer make a reel or make a video about a beautiful, pure, natural, beautiful landscape, a beautiful place of a particular region, then in no time, that place becomes polluted. This is my rebuttal speech. Thank you so much.
A very good afternoon for the third time today, respected speaker. I will keep this short because, frankly, I feel we've heard a lot about the pros and cons of social media influencer culture. So the first point I want to point out is social media influencers, as most of my esteemed friends from the Treasury have mentioned, give us insightful perspectives, give us data and news that mainstream media misses. Secondly, they give us financial literacy, respected speaker, something that I unfortunately really regret to admit is missing from our educational curriculums. Moreover, respected speaker, another topic that I would like to talk about is the body image issue, the anxiety and depressing issue. According to a study, 72% of social media influencers are body positive. And I highly doubt that we will come across a social media influencer who bashes people online who are depressed or who are anxious. We normally see in our algorithms quite the opposite of that, respected speaker. Moreover, respected speaker, again, I would like to throw the ball of control onto the consumer's hand. It is not the influencer who has inherent control, no. We are the ones who hand control over to them. We are the people who allow other influencers to influence us. So again, to sum up, the arguments of my side, I would like to say that it is up to the consumers, it is up to the viewers. Who do you let influence you? What do you stand for? And what do you allow influence you? Thank you very much.
To sum up all the points that my fellow mates had given up here, I'd like to start with a little about myself. You see, I wasn't on social media before I found out about this debate. I refrained myself from using Instagram. And when I found out I was going to participate in this debate, I actually made up an account, set it up, and checked, like personal little research of my own. And what I found from it was, I was addicted. I was addicted to my phone recently. I have been sleeping later than usual. I've been dwelling into reels every day that is causing brain rot for a matter. And also, I've been very distracted in class, you see, because reading books can actually help you speak better, can help improve your listening skills. But on social media, it's causing brain rot. Secondly, I would like to share with you a recent influence that I heard on social media. It went on saying that vegans had smaller brains than people who actually eat meat. I mean, I personally, I don't eat meat. Do you think my head is too small for my body? I don't think so. It's an equal ratio. Anyway, ultimately, we must critically examine whether the rise of this influencer culture is actually affecting the greater good of our society. We urge you all to have a more balanced perspective, prioritizing genuine relationships and connections and values that extend far more than likes and comments for a healthier and more meaningful society. Thank you.
So with this, we have come to the end of round 3, and everyone has spoken their bit and they have given their best. We have heard very invigorating and factual evidence, a very eloquent debate. So while the scores are being tabulated, can I invite Mr. Malcolm D. Roy, the Pro VC of MLCU, to give a share a few words of wisdoms and a review about this one. 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. A very good afternoon to everyone. It's been a real pleasure being here among the youth today, because I think in this room I must be the oldest. I'm virtually fossilized. And after having spent almost 4 decades in industry and working with very hard-nosed professionals in building power projects, very unromantic, it is wonderful to be among so many young minds. Presently, after my retirement from NIPCO, I've taken up an assignment as Pro-Chancellor, not Pro-VC, Pro-Chancellor of the Martin Luther Christian University, where I also interact with a lot of young people. And it's a pleasure really to work with these people and to get a fresh view and a fresh look at life and its issues. There is so much to learn every day. The topic that you've selected for today's debate is so timely, it is so relevant, it is so current, and there is so much to talk about it. And as Mr. Speaker, sir, has said, it is a lot of grey. There is very little black and white in social media. It's a lot of grey. I come from a generation which I consider myself fortunate that I have straddled 2 worlds. I straddled a world, I grew up in a world which was probably by standards of young people today is positively primitive. We didn't have proper communication. We didn't have enough telephones. We only relied on what I think somebody had mentioned, another form of social media, which was newspapers, and we read books, we read magazines, and we read comics. Probably it is a habit which is also a dying habit with today's generation. But there is no gainsaying the fact that social media is a force to be reckoned with. It is a force that we have to recognize. It is a force that we have to adapt to. It is a force that we have to reckon with. It is a force that we cannot ignore. There is a good in it, there is a bad in it. The good has been very elaborately spelled out by our friends from the Treasury benches. The ills of social media have also been very vividly brought out by our friends on the opposition. And it's not only about beauty products. It's not only about looking good. There is so much more which is happening in the world of social media, good and bad. On the good side, so much of positive influence has come into society today because of social influence. We have become aware of so many more issues plaguing the world and our generations because of social media, which otherwise we would not have been aware of. On the other hand, we need to be very aware and very conscious of the fact that social media can also be a tremendous force of evil. I do not know how many of you have read the latest book by the well-known Jewish writer Yuval Noah Harari, the person who wrote Sapiens and Homo Deus. His latest book, called Nexus, is a fascinating read about the information age that we live in. He traces the history of mankind from the Stone Age to the Information Age. It's a fascinating read, and if you have not read it, I would strongly recommend you read that book. And while he talks about all the good things about the information age we live in, which is the social media age that we're talking about, he also talked about the evils and the ills that social media has brought about. And one glaring example he gave was the example of the Rohingya massacre which took place in Myanmar a few years ago. It seems that, according to his reporting in the book, that a lot of the violence which took place against the Rohingya community in Myanmar was fueled by Facebook algorithms. Because the Facebook algorithms brought to the fore the hate and the hate writings, the hate speeches. They did not bring to the fore the deeds of good, of kindness and empathy which also took place at the very same period of time. Those did not come to the fore because of the work of the algorithms that were working behind the scenes. So these are the things that we need to be very conscious of, we need to be very aware of. I congratulate my young friends today for wonderful exposition on both sides of the aisle. Wonderful. I learned so much myself. And I would encourage you to continue to engage in these discussions, in these conversations. And I would also request the colleges and the MCTA to also organize more of these discussions, more of these debates. I tell you, from my experience, working for, as I said, almost 4 decades, the ability to communicate, the ability to speak out your ideas and bring them across in a lucid and comprehensive manner is a great skill which you will take with you even to the workplace, irrespective of which profession you choose to follow in life. It's very important. So a platform like this, where we have debates and discussions, is very important, very vital to your overall growth, along with the growth of social media. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to point in terms of debating. You see, when in our times, debate was very vibrant. And now I can see it's good, it's not bad, it's very refined. Okay, before in our times, debating has to be pumping. Just that reaction, look, the crowd is in your control. Okay? So whenever you debate, don't forget the crowd. Take them with you. If you crack a joke and they smile, you are the winner. Got it? Right? So most of you have come here very refined, which is good. I'm not against it, but again, debating is all about public speaking. It's not presentation skills. Okay? Well, what do you think? Yeah, you got it? Right? The smile. One of you did that, so it's really good. Play with the body language as well. Okay? Address the speaker as we have done it. So use your body language, use your facial expression, point at your opponents. Your body language has to be very vibrant. Okay, got it? Yeah. So that thing I felt was lacking a bit. But overall, you have been really good, And my mentor used to told me this. I'm telling you this. Always remember, debaters will always do something in life. Okay, like Sir has also pointed out. So debaters will always do something in life, no matter where you are, which occupation, but you'll always do something in life. Okay, so congratulations, and always Bella, losing and winning is okay. I won my first debate. I got my first prize in MCTA debate competition, R.R. Thomas in St. Edmunds, after doing 8 debates. So don't lose hope, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. And a very good afternoon to everyone present here. And I think a big congratulations to all the participants on stage. I think sitting there, I felt very underqualified to judge a debate competition. I have never participated in one. Unlike my fellow judge, I think he is more, I should have asked for his advice. But standing here, I felt very proud of our youth. And also, like Sir said, I learned quite a few things myself. I'm of that millennial generation, I think, and I'm not as well versed as all of you with social media, but I think, like Sir had put forward, that with anything in life, I think moderation is key, right? So we cannot definitively say social media influencers are good or bad, but I think with anything in life, moderation is key, right? And I think I'd just like to point out, maybe share a joke that this debate is held in honor of maybe the first Khasi influencer, right? So congratulations and well done to everyone on stage. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was very interesting. I think the score sheet is almost ready. So we would go to the interesting part of any debate competition that we come across, or any proceeding that is taking place in the parliament. So as a speaker, I'm putting the motion to vote. So all people, please, the motion is the motion as put by the Treasury bench. The rise of social media influencer is good for society. Those in for the motion, please raise your hand. All of you, only one I'm seeing. Those against the motion, please raise your hand. Okay. Thank you for participating and being here. So in this house, in Synod College, the 13 R.R. Thomas Inter-Debate Competition, the motion has voted that social media, rise of social media influencer is not good for the society. Thank you. Thank you. Now we'll go to the prize distribution as the results has come.
Thank you so much, Sir Shiv Pradhan, for stepping up on the plate, because he was not scheduled to be the speaker. In fact, they were asking me to be the speaker in the meantime, but I declined, and in fact, I did not want to be the one to declare the results. But since he had graciously agreed to be the speaker, I cannot decline his request, even though I would have wanted to. So, once again, thank you so much to all of the participants. You all have been wonderful. You've made a great mark through your arguments, through all that you've done. And as one of the judges has said, all the debaters will do something in life. And I look forward to seeing you again maybe later, debating and doing very, very well. Now, without further ado, I would like to request, I would like to request the 3 best speakers to come up, or rather, I'll just call the 3rd best speaker first. So, the 3rd best speaker for the 13th R.R. Thomas Inter-College Debate Competition is contestant number 11, Laripala Karpuli from Sinar College, Shillong, representing the Treasury bench. And I would request Sir E. Botan, one of the judges, to please hand out the certificate and prize money as well. The second best speaker is contestant number 6, Devanima Pratacharji from St. Mary's College. Now I request Madam to please hand over. And so the best speaker for the 13th R.R. Thomas Inter-College Debate Competition goes to contestant number 4, Nayanyak Talam of St. Edmund's College. And now may I request Sir Malcolm Roy to hand over the certificate and the prize. So thank you so much once again to all of the participants. As they've pointed out, there might be winners, but of course every single one of you has done your part, and looking forward to you growing from strength to strength. I think now I will hand over the mic once again to the General Secretary to make the announcement.
That was a very engaging debate and very pertinent too, and I think we have a lot to take home from this debate. And keep having discussions at home or at work, in professional spaces, in college or wherever, so that we have more to debate about in the next R.R. Thomas debate competition. So without further ado, we would like our convener of the organizing committee of this R.R. Thomas debate competition to kindly give the vote of thanks. I'm Shairi.
Thank you, Madam Longna. So after all your hard works, what you deserve is to get appreciation. And a very good afternoon again, once again, everyone. And it's a privilege for me to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. So first of all, I like to thank God, the Almighty God, for all His countless and continuous blessings. We all are here, we are healthy, we are what we are, it's all because of Him. On behalf of the organizers, I would like to convey our sincere gratitude to our judges, Sir M.D. Roy, Pro Vice Chancellor Martin Luther Christian University, Dr. K.S.E.M. from Northeastern Indira Gandhi Regional Institute of Health and Medical Sciences, Sir E. Kharkungor, Counselor, Shilamjing M Counseling Center, for sparing your valuable time and for your fair judgment, which had made this competition meaningful. I would also like to thank Sir Dr. Batskam Marbok for accepting actually our invitation to be the speaker, but due to unavoidable circumstances, he was not able to come. So on his behalf, Sir Shift had accepted to do the job. So thank you, sir, for doing that on this occasion. We would also like to thank all the participants for your preparation, for your enthusiasm, for your passion for the topics. You all have done very well. I don't think so I would be able to speak the way you do. Okay, so I wish a very bright future ahead. So keep doing your good work. And our special thanks also go to Principal of the college, Dr. G. Lingdor, and all the members from this college, all the members of the organizing team from this college for the excellent organization, hospitality, and tireless efforts in making the event possible. We thank the media persons, both print and electronics, for coverage. Our deep sense of appreciation also goes to all volunteers and all the staff who did the work behind the scene and making the program a success. Finally, I thank each and every one of you who are present here, and even those who are not present here, who had helped us, whether directly or indirectly, had made this program a success. So thank you. And we hope to see you all once again in our next events. Thank you once again. God bless.